Alright, guys, we got the trailer. We are going to watch this. We ain't going to beat around the bush. It's basically Tellius. I don't see how this could not be Tellius. Just based on the silhouettes that we saw the other day, they very obviously were a baby Mia and Sorin, presumably. Okay, so what I just say? Baby Mia confirmed? Okay, so there she is. Very cute for baby Mia, I guess. Mia's not really my favorite Tellius Swordmaster, to be honest. I actually am more partial to Zehark. But we'll certainly take the baby Mia. So, of course, she's a sword infantry, and just based on how busted these baby units have been in the past, I'm expecting this unit to be nuts. Alright, so let's see what she's got. Sharp War Sword, 16 might and 1 range, accelerate special trigger. If a skill compares unit speed to a foe's or ally's speed, treats unit speed as if granted plus 10. Oh, that's pretty different. That's basically giving her phantom speed right there. Okay, so at the start of the turn, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants null follow-up and dodge to unit for 1 turn. Gotta love that, right? They actually said null follow-up and dodge. They didn't say if your speed is like 10 times the difference of their speed minus 40 or whatever it is, dodge is. It's like the difference between stats times 10, I believe, so you can get a max of 40% damage reduction with dodge. Basically, if you have 10 more speed. And then null follow-up is, we already know the wall of text that is null follow-up. So it's really awesome to see them just streamlining these weapon effects now. Alright, so she gets null follow-up and dodge for 1 turn. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, gets all stats up 5 to unit during combat. Okay, so let's get a quick recap here. We got -1 special trigger. We got phantom speed. We have null follow-up. We have dodge. And then we have all stats up 5. You know, the phantom speed effect is actually pretty interesting because that means they can start implementing that onto units and not have to worry about creating this insane speed tier. So let's say with Ascended Marita, I believe she had base 43 speed, and then she didn't have a super boon though. Like now they don't have to worry about giving units, I don't know, 42 base speed and then a super boon, and they can artificially give them plus 10 speed by using this. And it's not like they actually have like 52 speed or whatever. They're getting the plus 10 speed only on the check for dodge. So it's an interesting way to do it. Alright, she also has Dragon Fang, Flashing Blade 4, Speed and Defense Tempo 3. Okay, that's brand new. Inflicts Speed and Defense -3 on the foe, and neutralizes effects that grant special cooldown charge plus X to foe, or inflicts special cooldown charge -X to unit during combat. So it's essentially Creator Sword plus Speed and Defense -3. Interesting. Okay, I want to see the inheritance restrictions on this. Probably infantry, but these could be pretty good, depending on who else can get them. And then she also has Odd Tempest. Okay. Honestly, though, it doesn't really look like good enough to stand in today's meta, to be honest. Just judging by how far the power creep has come. Okay, wow, that's actually dope. Sorin is one of my least favorite characters from Tellius, but they actually did something cool here. If you guys know Sorin's backstory and where he's actually from and who he actually is, this is pretty good. For real, like, this is good. I like this. So he's a colorless infantry tome unit. Okay. I don't want to spoil Sorin's backstory because it's actually a pretty big deal. But, goddamn, this is a good idea for Sorin. Okay, Adroit War Tome, 14 might and 2 range, accelerate special trigger. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants attack and res up 6 to unit during combat. And the following effects will occur based on the value of unit's res minus foe's res. Alright, so if greater than or equal to 1, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. If greater than or equal to 5, if foe uses sword, lance, axe, bow, dagger, or beast damage, foe cannot counterattack. And if greater than or equal to 10, reduces the percentage of foes' non-special reduced damage by X% skills by 50%. And the example here is a foe with reduced damage by 45% skill would reduce by 23% instead. Alright, so he's basically duo-lift. He has damage reduction. If he has 10 more speed than the foes. He's also gaining wind sweep against melee units, and then he also has a guaranteed follow-up. Pretty strong weapon, honestly. So I'm expecting him to have a ton of attack and res, and then speed will probably be low. If he has good defense, he could actually end up being pretty good. Because then he'd be like a colorless version of duo-lift. With good attack and good defense and res, and then his speed is a dump. Because he doesn't even need it. He gets the guaranteed follow-up. Very interesting. The only downside is that he's infantry, though. So he can't move a million spaces like duo-lift. Alright, he's got Iceberg, Mirror Impact, and Times Pulse 3. Okay. Would have been nice to see a unique skill on him as well, but that's fine. Like I said, I actually do enjoy this art style and the outfit they went with for him. Oh, baby Ilyana. Okay. That's cute. Alright, Ilyana is adorable, and she likes to eat a lot, so that's something I enjoy. She is a Green Tome Infantry. Okay. Alright, we got Windy War Tome. 14 Might and 2 range. Grants res up 3. If foe initiates combat or foe's HP is over 75%. At the start of combat, inflicts attack and res -6 on the foe during combat. And also, if unit's res is better than the foe's res, reduce damage from attacks during combat and from AoE specials by percentage equal to the difference between stats times 4. Okay, so this is basically dodge's effect, except it calculates with res. They could totally streamline this as well if they wanted to call this something else. I don't know. I mean, dodge is called dodge because you got to have speed. Maybe this could be called hide because you're hiding from the enemy or something. I don't know what they want to call it, but just giving this a name, res-based dodge, could give them an easy excuse to streamline this in the future. And also, if unit's res is better than foe's res +5, foe cannot make a follow-up attack. Okay, I'll tell y'all this right now. This is a very good Demote unit. She has Glacies, lull attack and res, and attack and res. Yeah. Oh my god, lull attack and res on a Demote? Yeah, this is a very good Demote. This is a really good 4-star. Wow. I'm actually kind of excited for her right now. She seems like a really good merge project. Okay, and of course, the moment I've been waiting for, we finally get Duo Ike, and it's Ike and Mist. Oh, man. Come on. I'm really ecstatic that we finally have a new Ike, but at the same time, I didn't want baby Ike. I wanted grown-up Ike. I wanted the Ike that kicks ass. I wanted Ike and Zelgius or Ike and Grail as the duo. Maybe even Ike and Ranulf, but Ike and Mist. I don't know. Mist ain't really that hype for me, but alright, we'll give him a chance. So he's an infantry sword unit as well. This guy is going to have to be beyond cracked if he's even going to have a chance in the meta right now. Alright, we got Sturdy War Swords, 16 Might and 1 range, grants attack up 3. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants all stats up 5 to unit during combat. And if unit's attack triggers a special, the following effects will occur based on the number of allies in 4 spaces of unit. Alright, so if 1 or more, before unit's first attack, grants special cooldown count -X, where X equals 50% of unit's max special cooldown count value rounded down. Alright, we'll come back to that in a sec. To unit to unit is part of that. If greater than or equal to 2, reduces damage from foe's first attack by X%, where X is equal to the unit's max special cooldown count value times 10. And if greater than or equal to 3, neutralizes effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks and effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks. Is that not null follow-up? Why didn't they just shorthand that as null follow-up? Oh, boy. So, gotta love that, right? They streamlined Mia, but then Ike has the full null follow-up wording. Okay, whatever. Alright, let's dissect this weapon here. So, before a unit's first attack, grants special cooldown count -X. So, he can immediately attack with a special, basically, if he meets enough of a requirement to bring his special down to 0 cost. Half of unit's max special cooldown count value rounded down. So, Radiant Aether is what he has, which is a 4-hit. He doesn't have -1 special trigger, so he basically triggers Special Spiral for himself at the start of combat, which is pretty interesting. If he has one ally within 4 spaces, that's very easy to do. Alright, also, greater than or equal to 2 allies, he gets damage reduction based on the percent of his special cost times 10, so 40% damage reduction. There's no stat check on that either, so it's not like dodge or hide, which I called the res one, or whatever you want to say. He's always going to have 40% damage reduction. So that is nice, although we're getting a lot of damage reduction cut effects, like we saw on this very banner with Sorin and etc. Also, we just got the legendary Nana who disables damage reduction, basically. And then he also gets null follow-up. I'm going to be honest, I'm not really too impressed by him. Just looking at this. He has Special Spiral on his weapon in a very interesting way. But like Radiant Aether, that's not really going to... I'm looking at this guy and I don't think he can win against units like Ascended Idune or Brave Hector or any of the top tier blue threats. He's just not going to have the stopping power to run right through them. Alright, we have Distant Dart. Basically, distant counter, or unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range. If foe initiates combat, grants speed up 5. What? Come again? Did they legit just power creep Brave Marth's ace skill already? So, you know how Brave Marth has distant counter with speed up 5, but he takes 5 chip? Look at this. We just have distant counter with speed up 5. And there you go. That's all there is to it. Okay, it's not really power creep because this is when the foe initiates. So it's similar to a stance in that regard, whereas Marth is getting his on player phase and enemy phase. But still, it's pretty funny to see that. Alright, then he's got Null Sea Disrupt and Joint Drive Attack. Okay. This guy's duo skill is gonna have to be like ludicrous. Because he just doesn't seem strong enough to stand up in the meta right now. Alright, we got 40 HP, 61 attack, 42 speed, 32 defense, and 26 res. I think his weapon granted attack up 3. Let me just double check. Yeah, it does. Okay, so his stats that we see on the map, gotta take those with a grain of salt and calculate the weapon and all that. Alright, 42 speed, 32 defense, 26 res. Stat line doesn't even seem that crazy to me. Yeah, like 20... Is he mid? Am I losing it, or is this guy mid? Why do I feel like he's mid? Okay, inflicts attack and speed -7 and guard on foes in 5 rows and 5 columns centered on unit through the next actions. Okay, that's pretty nuts. And inflicts special cooldown count +2 on those... Okay, that... Okay, alright, now we're getting somewhere. So, his duo skill basically just shuts down Hardy Fighter. Like, just instantly. If they have Hardy Fighter, it's gone. Because they just get their special cooldown back to max. And he inflicts attack and speed -7 and guard, so if you're attacking them, it's going to be hard for them to ramp into specials. 5 rows and 5 columns, pretty massive radius. This is a good duo skill, especially for summoner duels. But is it enough to justify using Ike, though? Interesting, okay. I'm not sure on that. I think the verdict might still be out on that one. Huh. Yeah, so there he is just busting that out. That's a really good duo. I wish it was reusable, though. Would have been a really sick duo skill if it was reusable. Alright, let's see who the bonus prize unit is, if they're going to show up at all. Oh, man, it's Boyd! Okay, so finally, Boyd fans rejoice because he's finally in the game, and what do you know? He's in seasonal hell, just like everybody else that gets added to the game. Alright, real quick, I'm just checking the in-game notification to see if they say anything else. And no, it just says Boyd, Future Great is going to be the prize. So there he is. Alright, my thoughts on the banner is that it's a massive skip. Ike is color sharing with Mia, and outside of Ike's duo skill, both of them really don't seem that impressive to me. Ilyana. Why is Ilyana the best unit on this banner? She's a 4-star Demote, and she's really good. She has lull, attack, and res fodder at 4-star. That's godly. And then her weapon is really good, too. It has res-based damage reduction. She inflicts attack and res -6. This Ilyana is really good. And then I think Sorin is also really good. He reminds me a lot of Duo Lift, except only difference is he's not a cavalry unit. So that's going to be up to you whether or not you think he's good or as good as Duo Lift. He lacks a duo skill, but him being colorless is also really good, I think. So my takeaways from this banner, the 2 tome units are actually better than the sword units, sadly. Alright, is there anything else in here? Okay, Fey Pass owners get to Spark. That does not include me because I don't have Fey Pass. And we also get a Celestial Stone. I would say, unless you're a big fan of the units, this is a skip. If you want to go for Ilyana, that's probably a good idea. Like, to go for her as a +10. Let's take a look at her weapon once again. Yeah, so she has Impact. She gets res-based damage reduction, and she inflicts attack and res -6. That's a really good Demote tome, man. And then Sorin, let me look at Sorin one more time. Okay, so Sorin had attack and res up 6, -1 special trigger. He has damage reduction, wind sweep against melee type units. Well, not melee, because bow and dagger are in there. More, I would say physical type units. He has wind sweep on, and then also he gets a guaranteed follow-up. So Sorin is really good, actually. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm pretty disappointed about Ike. I wanted to just kick everybody's ass once again with Ike, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Maybe I'm just being down in the dumps and I'm missing something huge here. Maybe he's a god and I'm not seeing it, but I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comment section. This is your boy Tacho signing out. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch y'all again tomorrow night when we get the data mines.